it appears that the president has said the animal that shot the two National Guardsmen, with both being critically wounded and now in two separate hospitals, is also severely wounded, but regardless will pay a very steep price. God bless our great National Guard and all of our military and law enforcement. They are truly great people. I, as President of the United States, and everyone associated with the office of the presidency, am with you. So the president there saying that the person who shot the two National Guardsmen is severely wounded and will pay a very steep price, and that the two National Guardsmen are also both critically wounded and in separate hospitals. Really just tragic news here a day before Thanksgiving, as many people look forward to spending the holiday with family and friends. Of course, there's often no holiday or vacation for those in law enforcement because their efforts are still needed to secure our country, to secure areas. This is, again, taking place very close to the White House, 17th and I Streets in the heart of downtown Washington, D.C. I believe that this is aerial footage here of the area where we have law enforcement on the scene. And according to the guests that I have with me, Sam Vinograd and Kirk Burkhalter, both Sam Vinograd being our national security contributor and Kirk Burkhalter, retired law enforcement, telling us it appears right now that this might be in a standby mode, that this scene, that there might not be an immediate imminent danger to the public. We do have a suspect in custody who is wounded and in the hospital. And we have two National Guardsmen, both critically wounded, who have been shot. Certainly not an easy day for law enforcement, for this community. We know that National Guard was deployed to the area as part of an operation to clean up crime, with thousands of troops deployed to the area. Sam Vinograd, what are your thoughts as we continue to watch live footage from the scene? Sam, if you can hear me as you've been watching this footage.
So sorry, Lindsey. Yes. Yeah, so I think what I'm thinking about, Lindsey, is the fact that the president just provided us with new details that had not been previously released, which speaks to the condition of the National Guardsmen that were wounded, tragically wounded. He said that they were, I think, critically or severely wounded. So we all have to continue praying for their recovery. And then also to the suspect's condition. According to the president's Truth Social post, the suspect is also in bad shape. That could certainly inhibit the ability to question the suspect and to ascertain a motive. So in terms of why this individual attacked service members, we may not immediately learn that, unless, of course, we've seen this play out in other contexts. Individuals at the scene identify who the suspect is, and we learn more about the suspect from information from the public. You and I have covered other stories where that has, in fact, been the case. But the suspect's condition is new information from the president, in addition to the poor condition of the service members that were injured. I will note that there are very steep sentences for attacks on United States servicemen on account of their service under Title 18 of the U.S. Code. So the president said that the suspect would face steep consequences. That is certainly the case if the suspect is indicted, is found guilty, and in this case, unfortunately, based on the president's tweet, if this individual does survive.
Let's go ahead and pull up that Truth Social post, if we are able to, from the president, so that everybody can read along with me, because as Sam had mentioned, there was some new information in it. Control room, do we have that up? All right, we're working on it, everybody, so bear with me, and I'm going to pull it up as well so that I can read it. So the president posted, the animal that shot the two National Guardsmen, with both being critically wounded, here it is on your screen, and now in two separate hospitals, is also severely wounded, but regardless will pay a very steep price. God bless our great National Guard and all of our military and law enforcement. These are truly great people. I, as President of the United States, and everyone associated with the office of the presidency, am with you. Kirk, since you are still with us as well, and we know that media staging, according to police, is a few blocks away at 17th Street and K Street Northwest. Kirk, anything else standing out to you about where we are in the investigation and what's happening?
No, I mean, the investigation is really in its infancy. just to pick up on what Sam mentioned, I have no doubt that she cited federal law. I have no doubt the suspect or the Justice Department, or if charges are brought federally, the Justice Department will attempt to prosecute the suspect to the full extent of the law and seek whatever maximum penalties are available should the suspect survive. Uh, Again, echoing Sam's comments, sounds like from the president's post that the National Guard members are injured more severely than the suspect, and which is just incredibly unfortunate. And like I said, law enforcement work is just so inherently dangerous. At some point, this was just as with all law enforcement entities, something like this was bound to happen, unfortunately, because that's the nature of the beast. So, all we could do is really hope for the best for these individuals who the president mentioned were critically wounded. I most certainly hope they survive. And hopefully we find out more about the suspect's motivation at some point in time.
And according to CBS News' Homeland Security and Justice correspondent Nicole Skanga, roughly 10 to 15 shots were fired total. And beyond the 2 guardsmen and suspect, there are no further injuries at this time. I want to bring in the coordinating producer for CBS News' Crime and Public Safety Unit, Anna Schechter, who is joining us on the phone with the latest that we know. Anna?
Hey, Lindsay. Well, this obviously was a very serious shooting. The 2 guardsmen are in critical condition, very seriously wounded. At least one of them is. Also, I'm hearing from sources that the suspect is also severely injured from gunfire. So it sounds like it was a shootout type of a situation. Very serious thing to have happen right there on the streets, as you've been discussing. We are waiting to get more on the condition, and of course, the families are being notified of what's happened. This is all happening really fast, so we will likely get more information about the exact condition of those 2 National Guard soldiers once families have learned as well of their condition, but that the initial assessment is critical condition, one gravely injured.
And it's our understanding that a press conference with Metro Police will be imminent. What questions, if you were there, which I know you're based in New York, but what questions would you be asking, or would you have your team ask?
Number one question speaks to, one, the condition of the National Guard soldiers and motive. What was going on in that perpetrator's mind to carry out this attack? There's been a lot of tension, a lot of headlines, a lot of rhetoric, explosive rhetoric around the administration's policy in terms of deploying National Guard to cities around the country, as well as the immigration policy. And there's been kind of a blurring of the lines there. So that's the backdrop. We're also coming into the holiday. Now, we don't generally see a big spike in shootings over the Thanksgiving weekend specifically, but sometimes these mass casualty events or sort of higher profile shootings can happen when larger gatherings are expected. We are one day away from 3.5 million people descending on Central Park West to Central Park South and down 6th Avenue for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And so obviously NYPD was already on heightened alert. This just upped the ante big time for law enforcement. I was just out with some senior security officials earlier this morning as they were preparing, and they are all plugged in. They are getting the law enforcement bulletins and the briefings and monitoring the situation very closely.